Greetings from the dungeon, I'm Metal Queen. One of my favorite bands in the whole world is Iron Maiden. It's a legendary English band that still sells out arenas even 40 years after their first album. I'm gonna try and analyze one of their most famous, or rather infamous, songs and find out why it's so great. The song is called The Number of the Beast of the album of the same name. It was launched in 1982, and this song is the second single because their first single was Run to the Hills. So what did the world think when this song came out? The album went to #1 in the UK. Their label was EMI, it's a big label. In the United States, it went up to number 33, which for a band that gets no radio airplay, that's quite a feat. The song was written by the ever so talented Steve Harris, the bass player, the main composer, the creator of the band. He created the band like 1974. He wrote this song, lyrics, and music. When the song came out, people thought Iron Maiden were Satanists, and Steve Harris got a bit upset because they're good lads. Now that said, take a look at the album cover. Eddie is puppeteering the devil who is puppeteering humans, so they worship Eddie, not the devil. There you go. Without further ado, here's the intro.
Woe to you, O earth and sea, for the devil sends the beast with wrath, because he knows the time is short.
This part is from the New Testament, from Revelation.
Let him who hath understanding reckon the number of the beast, for it is a human number. Its number is 666.
After the spoken intro, you hear the guitars come in and the vocalist Bruce Dickinson whispering very terrifyingly. Let's listen.
I left alone, my mind was blank. I needed time to think, to get the memories from my mind.
Now when they were recording the album, the producer Martin Birch asked Bruce to repeat this whispering part time and time and time again. And this frustrated Bruce quite a lot, to the point where he gave us one of his finest screams. Fantastic scream. Big, nicely mixed, not too loud. After that harrowing scream, the nightmare begins. The drums come in right in the center, really nice and tight, with the guitars around it, and the bass is in cahoots with the guitar, and then lots of awesomeness happening. And the chorus comes in, and it's one of the phrases that when it came out back in 1982, it rose the hairs in the back of all of Christianity. It says, 666, the number of the beast. If you didn't catch that, it says 666, the number of the beast. You can imagine why the Christians were running, getting all scared. Sherlock Holmes series with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman. There's a scene in that where Mrs. Hudson is vacuuming, super inspired. She's totally into her vacuuming. She's got her iPod on, it's blasting The Number of the Beast. You got the little old lady blasting the song, completely cleaning her apartment in like 5 seconds, and all this chaos is going on around her. She can't hear anything because she's rocking out. That's pretty metal. By this point, the song's already taking you by storm and it's rattle all your innards, but it's only getting you ready for the mind-numbing solos. First solo is by Dave Murray. It's got nice, clean solo, distortion, just right, super fast. The second solo is by Adrian Smith. Lots of wah-wah, a lot of soul. He's a bit of a hippie. I just love him so much. That's Adrian Smith, the second solo. Now, the interesting thing about this song, I just realized it has 3 solos. You got Dave Murray, you got Adrian, and Steve Harris finishes the solo with his bass. Yeah, listen up. A lot of people give grief to the bass players. Whoever does that, never heard of Iron Maiden.
Or the Police, or Yes, or Rush, or the Beatles.
So with this momentum, we reach the crescendo, and then the final verse begins. I would like you to listen to this one, paying real close attention to the mix. Listen to each instrument separately. Try to listen to the drums, the toms versus the bass drum versus the hi-hat and everything, on how the vocal is mixed in comparison to the rest of the instruments. Listen up. So the guitars sound really raw, almost like they're live. The vocal sits just below the bass almost. It's almost mixed almost at the same level. So the vocals have a little bit of reverb and delay, and they sound like wide a little bit. So Bruce is definitely pushing air out like a punctured tire, right? And you can't really hear him like he's screaming. No, it sounds part of this bubble. It just sounds great. So after all this up and down and round and round and round, the song finishes like this. It's just great, okay? It just bam, done, okay. Let's talk about the song structure. So you got your intro, let's see, your verse, chorus, your verse, your chorus, then the break with all the solos and stuff. You got another verse, a chorus, then the final verse, and then the end with a bang. So try and take that structure and write a song yourself and see what happens. Let's talk a little bit about the lyrics. Steve wrote the lyrics after having a nightmare. So this is not about the devil. It's written from the point of view of the dreamer. Supposedly he's dreaming, right? And he's describing what looks like it's hell, torches blazed and sacred chants were praised. And it's almost like they're in church, but it's not really church, it's hell. So I guess they sing in hell too, like church, okay. One of the talents Steve Harris has is telling stories through lyrics, and you get taken to this world, you're surrounded by fire and it's really hot. By the end of the song, you probably are the devil. It's great. You have the power to make your evil takes its course. So it's a fun song. It takes you to hell and back. So if you've never heard this song before, go ahead, sit down, play it nice and comfortable with your earphones and the lyric sheet, and just enjoy the ride. So what makes this song great? You name it. You got the bass player acting as a guitar in parts. You got the tone of voice of Bruce Dickinson. You got the wonderful galloping sound of the drums. You have the guitar solos, the structure of the solos, the different tone of the guitars. And personally is when it hits my heart. Bam! And you can analyze it and break it down all you want, as long as it makes you feel something. Whether it's you want to stand up and dance, or just pick up the guitar, start playing again, whatever. It's a great song, and if you're a metalhead, it's a must-know song. I hope you enjoy it. Signing off, Metal Queen.